See, that's the info that I'm looking for. Secret Wars 2 is the second oldest Omni that needs a reprint. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy GemMint. Over the years, I've seen a lot of questions in the comments section asking if I could make a video of all of the out-of-print omnibuses, which Omnis need a reprint. And I don't know, I've been collecting since what, like 2015 or so. I already went through my phase of going back and paying way more than I should have for books that were out of print that eventually got reprinted, but that's neither here nor there. So I figured, who better to ask than the collecting community on which omnibuses or omnibuy or omnis are in desperate need of a reprint. So this should be a great video if you guys are curious to what's out of print, and maybe we'll even get some answers as to what has been announced for a reprint. I'm not going to read every single comment. There are 200 comments here. And yeah, this is Geminites. If you guys want to join in these discussions, come join the group. Just answer the 3 questions so that we know you're a real person. And I'm not going to go over repeat omnis. So Dustin Grag says, Colossal Conan. I did see actually that this was getting a reprint. Yeah, this is what Theory is saying. But I guess it's not a reprint. Yeah, the thing is, Titan has the Conan license now. And that was printed under Dark Horse, was it? And then Marvel had the license. So you're never really going to see a reprint of something from Marvel or Dark Horse unless they get those rights back. Shattershot, which is an OHC, Legion Quest, and X-Men Revolution. So those are all X-Men OHCs. Secret Wars 2 is out of print. Didn't realize that. Acts of Vengeance and the Carnage 2018 Omni. Basically any modern Wolverine Omni. Some more X-Men OHCs, the Phalanx, Covenant, and Fatal Attractions. Uncanny Volume 2. And we got more Wolverine. Not really an omnibus reprint, but X-Men hardcovers. So that seems to be the popular choice so far. Then we got Star Wars The Old Republic 1. It needs a reprint based on how quick it went out of print. Punisher by Rick Remender and Jason Aaron, out of print forever. Thor by Dan Jurgens, Volume 2. Yeah, I recently just saw somebody post that for like crazy expensive on the site. That's the Heroes Reborn, isn't it? Punisher Max series, Tommy says he sold his a few years back and regrets it now. I read the big 2 digitally these days, but you can't read this run on Marvel Unlimited. Would love to have it back in the collection. All right, what else is out of print? Justice League Detroit, Masters of Kung Fu 1 through 4. Man, I don't know if we're going to get reprints on those. New Teen Titans Volume 4 and Marvel Horror Lives Again. What's up, Ed Loot? Another one for Punisher, but this time it's the Garth Ennis run. And Brandon and Scott confirmed that this is getting new printing. So there you go. There's your chance. Ecstatic. Yeah, that one's been out of print for a minute. Here's some Batman goodness. Batman by Neil Adams. It's crazy that they didn't reprint that. The Nightfall Volume 2 and 3 with uniform spines. Whoa, 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 whoa. You're asking way too much now. We can't have uniform spines or logos that are in the same place next to each other, or even the same logos for that matter. Arkham Saga and New Teen Titans Volumes 2 through 4. Carl says, I would say Stephen King Dark Tower, but it just got a reprint. And they reprinted it not with the hardcover slipcase, right? It looks like a new kind of packaging for that omnibus. Those IDW Ghostbusters, there's 3 volumes, but IDW lost the rights. Damn, who's got the rights to Ghostbusters now? That's weird. Tomb of Dracula 1 through 3. You would think with new Marvel Spotlight stuff that Marvel is doing and the whole horror aspect that they're kind of leaning into when it comes to Disney Plus and even with some of the movies. Nightwing Prince of Gotham Omnibus. That one needs a reprint. Earth X. Damn, Annihilation. They just did one last year though, and they're still expensive. So man, it looks like it got a second printing and that one went out of print as well. New Avengers and print a second volume. So yeah, they still haven't announced that, right? So the first one is out of print and they need a volume 2. West Coast Avengers #2 needs a reprint. Doom Patrol by John Byrne. I got that one. Conan, yeah. So Ethan wants Uncanny X-Force. I think they printed it a couple of times and it did get announced that it's coming next year. So it's getting a reprint. That's a must-have, man. Don't let it go out of print again if you guys didn't pick that up. Captain America Silver Age Volume 2. And we are confirmed that is getting a reprint. Yeah, so this is a kind of good gauge on what needs a reprint, what's been announced, because it's hard to keep up with all this stuff, right? Choyo Bird says, I just want Big Damn Sin City. I used to have that one too. IDW, G.I. Joe, everything. Not going to happen, right? Because Image now has the rights. Werewolf by Night, all of the West Coast Avengers. Uncanny X-Men Volume 2 is being reprinted and scheduled for October of next year. Good to know. World War Hulk. Think it's getting reprinted, but not sure. William Birch says, I'd like to see the Joe Kelly Deadpool Omni come back. Yeah, especially with Deadpool 3 coming out. Reprints are odd to me. I could still see some omnibus years after they were released, but then some get reprinted twice in 1 year and then go out of print and can't be found. Good indication that if it's still available, nobody really wanted it, and if it sells super quick, let's get that second printing in. Anything overpriced on eBay right now due to being out of print. Yeah, that's usually the way that I gauge. Like if I'm trying to sell Omnis, I'll look on Amazon to see if it's available at cover price or less. If it's not available, then I already know it's not in stock by retailers, and then it's going to go on the secondhand market. Then I'll look at eBay and see what people are asking for it, what's it sold for. Marvel Universe by John Byrne Volume 2. See, I don't think a lot of people really dig those Marvel Universe compilation books, but look, it's out of print, so apparently some people did. Deadpool and X-Force, first time seeing that. Zach Flores says, it's a lame choice for me, but the Monster Bus from Jack Kirby. Hey man, if it's out of print, it was sought after at one point, and look, you still want it, so there you go. Superman, The Exiled is out of print. Yo, that's a great read. And I'd love an Irredeemable Omni reprint that isn't just for Kickstarter. Yeah, I was going to say, didn't they just come out with a new version of that? Didn't realize it was a Kickstarter thing. Road to War of Kings Aftermath, Daredevil by Bendis, Journey into Mystery by Kieran Gillen for me. Golden Age Batman Volume 7, got the first Red Hood. All the Valiant Universe Deluxe editions. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, man, because it's under new management. That's kind of like the previous management project. Infinity War, hell yeah, that should be reprinted. The Hawkman Omni, which has been out of print since I first got into this hobby. Saul's got a list. So X-Force Volume 1, Cable and X-Force. We've seen Modern Wolverines, all the Punishers. Hulk by Jeff Loeb is out of print, huh? Loki Journey into Mystery. Again, you would think with the show coming out that would have been reprinted. Acts of Vengeance. That was an out of print set when I first got into the hobby as well. I had to go into the aftermarket for it. Mark Waid's Cap, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Ultimate Comics Avengers, and Uncanny Avengers. Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, A Hero is Born. Both of the Thor Heroes Return, and Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme Volume 2. Iron Man Volume 2, which Doug is confirming is coming as a reprint. Not an Omni, but the Tomb Raider Archives. I'm not sure who owns the rights to Tomb Raider. Secret Invasion. Infinity Gauntlet is out of print? Come on, man. Yeah, you know what's funny? Punisher by Rick Remender has been out of print since I got into this hobby, and I found it in the wild at Tate's Comics in Lauderhill, Florida. So I got it for cover price. And I think right now, well, that and Back to War, which I started reading but haven't finished, is the only Punisher Omni that I haven't read and reviewed. I reviewed all of the Garth Ennis stuff, the Jason, Aaron, Max, basically everything except for this and Back to the War. Then Omnibus 2 and 3 is out of print, dang. Andrew Stevens says, I've literally been waiting for Batman Eternal by Snyder to get reprinted for years. I finally broke down and got the run in singles, but if the Omni gets reprinted, then I'm gonna get the Omni ASAP. So Miguel saying some ones that we've seen, but for DC, we got Justice League of America Bronze Age Volume 1, we saw Detroit and that. Okay, so the other ones we saw. Not an omnibus, but Absolute Ronin by Frank Miller. So is Back to the War out of print as well, huh? Spider-Gwen would be nice. Oh, Reese is selling. Everyone I don't own, but seriously would love to see both Namor and Spider-Man by John Byrne. Tomb of Dracula with the colon covers. We've been waiting 13 years. You gotta hit him with this, right? More Star Wars, more Wolverine and Punisher. The Thrawn trilogy. That's from Star Wars. I'm not a Star Wars guy. The Spider-Man Clone Wars, to be honest, as Ben Reilly was my favorite Spidey by far. Yeah, I think a lot of those Ben Reilly books go in and out of print and become super sought after. Uncanny Avengers again, Astonishing X-Men. Yeah, that's a great read too, man. Josh Whedon. The Authority Omnibus, especially with the James Gunn developments, right? Cap by Brubaker. Fantastic Four by Stan Lee should be evergreen. How is that out of print? Runaways Omnibus, Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man. Bryce says, missed Uncanny X-Men Volume 4 this time around, so we'll say that. Yeah, those tend to come back into print, right? Star Wars, The Original Marvel Years Volume 1. So Amazing Spider-Man by J. Michael Straczynski Volume 2 and Thunderbolts Volume 1 are the two that are missing from the collection. We're also giving Brubaker's Daredevil Volume 2 and Shadowland, but pretty sure they're coming back into print next year. Secret Wars 2 is now the second oldest Marvel omnibus without a reprint behind Devil Dinosaur. That and the Tomb of Dracula volumes need a return. See, that's the info that I'm looking for. Secret Wars 2 is the second oldest Omni that needs a reprint. You guys want to meet legendary artists Jim Lee and David Mack, plus John Dalmayan, the founder of Torpedo Comics and drummer for System of a Down? Well, this month will be your chance. Saturday, November 18th, JPG and Steve Shuett are celebrating their 1-year anniversary of Ninja Funk and having this private signing. It is free to enter, but if you want to get anything signed, you can purchase tickets right now at Eventbrite. There's going to be CGC witnesses, and you can leave your books to get submitted there as well. If you guys are in the area, go to the Ninja Exchange. It's in Carlsbad, California. More details at Eventbrite to check out the event. Dark Horse needs to reprint the Usagi Yojimbo Saga volumes in hardcover again and not limit them to some low production count. David Cox says, no more reprints. I'm buying a house and can't afford them anymore. What you mean? You can get them for up to 50% off at Organic Price Books. Use code GemMint, save $2. Shameless plug. Yeah, Kareem the Dream. This is what I saw. Somebody's asking $275 for the Thor Heroes Return Volume 2. Eve of Destruction and OHC, the Civil War box set. No. They can hold the box set. Let's just get the Omnibus. Give us, what, 2 or 3 volumes to collect that. John Byrne Avengers, Spider-Man JMS 2, Conan Omnis. Like I said, I don't think that's going to happen with Marvel no longer holding the rights. These 2 event Omnis, those are old school ones too. Evolutionary War and Atlantis Attacks. Iron Man by David Michelini. All right, so we know about all the Punishers. Spider-Man by Eric Larson. Also, my OCD prevented me from buying Uncanny X-Men Volume 4 because it had the old spine, and now he has all the new spines. Yeah, and we're over here mad about the new ones getting the new spines. Deathstroke by Christopher Priest. So Nathan's got a lot of these same names that we've been seeing, but also the Golden Age and Silver Age stuff from DC and Marvel. Yeah, I kind of regret getting rid of a lot of the Golden Age books that I did, man. At the time, though, I didn't have as much space. Now I have extra space, but stuff is out of print and getting expensive. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, Brian. I think the real question is, which Omnis should always be in print? The big one that comes to mind for me is what I said. Yeah, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Fantastic Four. Should always be in print. 2015 Star Wars. Oh, yeah, that's the Jason Aaron run. That's a good one. That should be in print again, or get a new printing. Luther Strode hardcover omnibus. I'm not sure what that even is. Aliens Omnibus 2 is the only out-of-print omnibus that I need and want to read. Dang, that went OOP. The Book of Doom went out of print. I doubt we'll see a reprint on that unless the MCU does move forward with Doom as the big bad, and I can see them tapping back into that. Andrew Stevens says, also, I'm still waiting for them to reprint the Darkseid War Omnibus. That was a good one. Wonder Woman George Perez Volume 3. ASM Volume 2 by Stan Lee is out of print. I remember that one being out of print, going for crazy money on the aftermarket, then coming back into print. But yeah, it looks like it might be out again. Yeah, so everything else are titles that we've already seen, man. But yo, thanks for the input. We got a good idea of the most wanted out-of-print omnibuses that desperately need a reprint. A lot of Punisher, a lot of modern Wolverine, X-Men OHCs. Let me know in the comments down below, which omnibus are you wanting to add to the collection, but it's out of print and crazy expensive in the aftermarket? Drop me a comment down below. Appreciate you watching. Stay minty fresh, y'all. Peace.